So can you please give us a small introduction to yourself and how you got into writing?
Well, gosh, well, I've always loved reading. Never really considered that I would become an author, but after my kids got a little bit older, I got back into reading a lot, and I decided that I would go back to university and do a degree in English literature and history. The plan was to become a proofreader, which I also do on the side. I'm an editor and a proofreader. But while I was studying, I had an idea for a book, and I don't know, I just kind of
What was it?
started, and it just went from there. Yeah. So, but yeah, I write dark romance, suspense, mafia, organised
My
crime.
favourite.
Yeah, I've got MF, MMF, and MFM at the moment. So yeah, it's
A
just
lot to choose from then.
yeah.
That certainly excites me anyway.
Good, good.
How did you find juggling writing a book with studying at university?
It was okay. I started in my second year, but then when I hit my third year, I had to stop because third year is, anyone who's done a degree will know that third year is insanely chaotic. And I have three kids, and they were all kids at that point. So yeah, a lot of juggling. But yeah, it was all right. It was good, and I really enjoyed that. It was helping me with my writing, because I was obviously studying literature at the time. So it yeah, it was good, but it was hard work, but it was worth it. So
Well, obviously, because now you're going to signing events and you got all these
yes,
books published, so really exciting that you did that during university and it created your path onwards.
yeah, definitely took me in a direction I wasn't expecting when I signed up to do it. So, but it
But
is
we're
what it
glad it
is.
did.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
What drew you to your current genre or style?
I love Martina Cole, and she is a British author who writes crime, like gangsters, and that's the kind of genres that I was reading. And yeah, it's just that's what I like to write. I have got a small town romance which I did for as part of the Silver Bell Shore series, and I did enjoy writing it, but it's not as dark as some of my others. And I'm
Yeah,
not going to lie, I struggled not to make it as dark as
yeah.
I would have if I would have been writing something different. So yeah, and I love Enemies to Lovers. That's my favourite.
Oh, it is so good. Enemies to Lovers is
Yeah.
all the time. Whenever I see that as a trope, I'll have to download it. Especially if you
Yes.
throw in some other tropes in there, Grumpy Sunshine, or it's just this whole bag of yes, please get me that book right now. But I also
Absolutely.
feel like I do the odd small town romance is good, but mafia romance and dark romance always takes the cake. It just there's something extra that just makes it.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
and I agree. Yeah, and I don't mind what I call fluffy romance occasionally because it's quite nice as a palate cleanser, especially if
Yeah.
I've been writing or reading in that dark genre. But yeah, I have to go back to the dark every time, and um, there's not really a limit to what I enjoy in the dark romance genre either. Like I quite like to mix it up with
Yeah.
MC. I mean, I have touched on MC in my small town romance, and I have had several of my street team going, "You should write an MC," and I'm like, "Yeah, maybe."
There's just so much to it. You can write so much within it, and I love that. Is
Yeah,
there any favourite authors, like current reads that you've read that you really enjoyed?
I love Siobhan Davies. I love all of her books, but her last book, her Mafia, Protecting What's Mine, was phenomenal. Callie Hart is always another favourite of mine, and she has been since I started reading again. Catherine Wiltshire,
See,
we were
I'm
good
terrible with
friends.
names. I'm usually someone who can see a book cover and do it. Even names just in life. Obviously, I started the new job. I've got like 98 employees, and I told someone I met yesterday. 5 minutes after she told me her name, I was like, I'm really sorry, you're going to have to tell me that again. I'm terrible. So when it comes to books, it's just the same. It's usually the covers that get me. So I may have read some of those, but if not, I'm definitely going to have to go check them out. One that I
Yeah.
keep on always telling authors is Cora Lee. Her Mafia series are amazing. They're interconnecting series, standalones, and there's just so much to it, and it's massive world building that I love. Plus, you get some dark mafia. So
Yes, yes,
what's not to love?
exactly, exactly.
Would you say you're more plot driven or people driven in your storytelling?
More plot driven.
Hmm.
I have to have a storyline, It's definitely, well, I think it's kind of a little bit in between both. Like the characters drive the story, but there's always a big plot there, and that's important for me. With my initial debut series, it's a trilogy, and I had originally planned for them to be interconnected standalones, and they are interconnected, but they're not standalones how I had planned. And I'm a pantser, not a plotter. It wasn't until I started writing the third book, that I realised that they were a lot more connected than I had originally planned, and it actually meant that now they need to be read in order.
Yeah.
So each book does have a separate couple, but there is an overarching plot line all the way through three.
I'm always someone that prefers a series like that, and to me that's exciting. I'm happy for it to connect, and you really do have to read the ones before it. But I sometimes find, not all the time, because there's some amazing books that I've read, this is completely different, but Akatar, that had my attention the whole way through, even though it's the same couple. But I find sometimes after book one, maybe two, it doesn't keep my attention, and that's why I love the interconnected standalone. You get a fresh new couple, you get something new, but then you also have the plot carrying on. So that's, even though it's not technically, it's more connected than you would have thought or wanted, that's still really exciting to read, because you have something new with each book.
Yeah, and a lot of my books are connected in the same world. So my Retribution Duet, which I wrote after my Triple R series, the main female characters is a secondary character in the final book of my Triple R series, but the story can be read completely separate from the Triple R, even though there are cameos from characters from my Triple R, and that has carried on throughout basically all of them since then. So I like that.
Some cameos as well.
Yeah, and I like that sometimes I can connect dots from previous books that then crop up later. It's like the little Easter eggs that everybody talks about.
And then readers will have to go read them again to just find them, because they might not understand how they are Easter eggs, and then you get really excited because how did you miss that? It just makes it all the more fun as a reader. The experience of reading your books, I bet, is just amazing. I said to a lot of these authors, it's a new to me event. I think all authors, maybe bar one, and I could be wrong because, as I say, I'm not good with names, so I could have very well read the books before, are new to me authors, so I'm very excited to discover all these new authors, especially with the interviews. But my TBR is now up to here. So thank you for adding to that, because immediately I'm going to have to bump those up. When you said Mafia, you said MMF, you said all of these, I just have to read them now. Sadly, my Kindle is, I'm having Kindle withdrawals. I left it in my dad's car for the week, so...
Oh no.
He comes home tomorrow and I can't wait.
Oh, have you got that app on your phone though? You can still read.
Yes, I do, but I stopped reading from my phone because I found it messed up my eyesight in college, because I was literally every day reading from my phone, and I could just do it for today, but I don't know, I feel a bit reluctant to just start reading on my phone again.
I don't blame you. I do read on my phone if I need to. I mean, I do everything else on my phone, but I recently bought a Kindle Scribe and I love it, because now I have my books on there, and when I need to make notes for references for books coming up or find little Easter eggs, then it's really good, because I can highlight and make notes, and I love it. But I do know what you mean. I started off reading on an iPad, and I was just like, no, this is just not like reading a normal book. At least with the Kindle, it feels a little bit more like a page, because it's not glaring in your face.
And I love reading books. I mean, I've got probably a physical TBR of a lot, quite a few books. So I really do need to read them, but I don't know, there's just something so convenient about a Kindle and satisfying. And I am someone who will just see a new video pop up on Instagram or talk to authors like you, and suddenly that book has to be read first instead of all the other books on my TBR. It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it happens, trust me. And as an author, my TBR is, I can't even see the top of my TBR anymore. It's insane, because I don't have time like I used to. So when I'm not writing, I'm usually editing, and when I'm not doing that, then there's usually something else I have to be doing, like marketing and interviews, which I love, but obviously takes away from the time that you have to do reading.
I mean, someone said something to me the other day that was so depressing to me. It says, "You're gonna die of your TBR." Why would you tell me that? Okay, I didn't need to know that. I knew that, but I didn't need to know that. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you for informing me of that. These books I really want to read, but just haven't got round to doing it yet.
Yeah, it is a problem. And like you say, you see new ones all the time. So it just keeps growing and growing and growing. It's mad.
Yeah.
It's mad.
I mean, it feels like an achievement to me when I've got... So, you know, with Kindle Unlimited, you can have 20 books borrowed at a time. For some reason, I've got all 20 borrowed at a time. Don't know why I need 20 books borrowed. I do. So it's an
Why
achievement
not?
to me when I actually start going through them. I mean, I've had some of those downloaded for quite a few months, and I feel reluctant to get rid of them and replace them because I really want to read them.
Yeah.
I don't know why, I just don't.
No. Well, it's time. Time is our enemy.
Yes,
And
yes, it is.
adulting.
Yeah, especially when you have to work. Anyway, have any real life love stories ever inspired you with your books?
Any real life what, sorry?
Love stories, sorry, I'm a bit hoarse today.
No, it's fine. I don't know, really. No, I think probably it's just a mix of lots of different ones, maybe. You know, you watch TV or... and you just get an idea for a story that comes to mind. No, I don't think so. I think it's just a combination of lots of things.
Everything pulled from around you.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a really weird bout of inspiration where you thought, interesting?
Yes, all the time. Usually at inappropriate moments, often when I'm in the shower and I can't actually write anything down. That's really frustrating. But yeah, you do. Sometimes if I'm stuck on my current whip, I'll be out and I might be talking, and then you're just struck with maybe somebody said something that triggered something, and it's just, so it does happen. But yeah, and I've also had some seriously strange situations and thought to myself, no, I can't possibly write that.
That one needs to stay in my head.
Yes.
So you said how you had it when you were in the shower and you can't write. So an author that I interviewed the other day, Ronnie Matthews, who's attending the event, she used to have that while she was driving. So she'd say, "Siri, text my husband," and it'd be this big thing, and then the husband's like, "Okay, I'm slightly worried for you. Why am I receiving this text?" And she had to say, "Sorry, it's for a book." I just imagine getting a text like that.
I mean, I have had someone say to me that I should have a whiteboard in the bathroom so that I can write on it, but it's just,
Or tiles, you can have a marker.
Well, I do have
comes off.
tiles. I could, but I don't think my husband would be too impressed with me scribbling all over the walls. I think he might think I've lost it completely.
Who hasn't, though?
Well, yeah.
On that, like with the characters, you know, when you're writing, do you ever feel like they're literally there, they have a mind of their own and they can just control you, where you think one moment you're writing and the next one you come out of it and like, what just happened? That was not me, that was the character.
Yeah, that happens all the time, especially as I'm a pantser, so I literally go in blind. And I once, with my second book, I tried to not plot specifically, but to steer the characters in the direction I wanted them to go. That was a big mistake, and I ended up having to write about 40k of my second book because my characters went, this is not happening, and completely rebelled. So I don't do that anymore. I give them, and they just take me wherever. But yeah, there are times when I have finished writing and then I will come back another day and I will reread what I've written, and I'll be like, my God, I don't remember writing that. That's, it's quite... Sometimes I'm a bit like cringe because it's dark romance, and I'm a bit like, where did that come from? And other times I'm a bit like, oh wow, that's actually quite good.
I was capable of writing something that dark. Where did that come from?
Yeah, it is like that though, because obviously they're in my head, but it's not always things that I would consider to be I don't know, appropriate or what I would do in real life. Yeah, so it's difficult to I don't know, to get the two marred together. But
with a lot of dark romance readers though, I bet it's a bit odd about that, because you would majority of the stuff that is like the themes of dark romance and what you write, you would never actually condone it of real life. I think there's some really dark books here, and as an author I bet it's a bit odd to think I wrote that, where did that come from, and kind of separating yourself. I don't know, I bet it can be a bit weird sometimes.
Yeah, it can definitely be weird. It is very strange. I mean, when I first started writing, I found it incredibly difficult to manage all of these voices in my head effectively. I mean, people get put away for things like that, so it's like, is this normal? But yeah, now I just go with it. I have a notebook with me most of the time, and whenever I get ideas for anything, I just write it down.
Well, us as readers, if it's not normal, then we're in that boat with you as well, because we love it.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
all right
red
then. I'm not
flags are
alone.
more like checklists for us, aren't they? So we love the voices. Keep on having them.
I will. I will. It's fine.
Where do you recommend readers start with your books? And is there a series that you always say is a good place to start?
I mean, obviously, you can start with the Triple R series. Book One Risk is currently free on every platform, but it doesn't really matter where you start, to be fair, because although there's, like I say, a lot of them are in the same world, but they can all be read as standalones. The only ones that I would say to be careful of are my Retribution Duet is followed by Whiskey and Lace, which is my Irish Mafia. And I did it this way because not everybody enjoys MFM. So if you don't read the Retribution Duet because it's MFM, then reading Whiskey and Lace is absolutely fine in any order. But if you do want to read MFM, then read the Retribution Duet before you read Whiskey and Lace.
Yeah.
Only because there's spoilers for the Retribution Duet in Whiskey and Lace. So they can be read in any order really, but yeah, I mean, I do
Just
have
that
a graphic. One. Yeah, it's just that one really that's kind of out of order. But yeah, Risk, like I say, Risk is free on all platforms, so that's always a good place to start.
Can you give us a brief overview of your books, or a book and some tropes maybe?
Enemies to lovers, obviously. I think most of my books have forced proximity.
We love.
A few of my newer books have got CNC and Dubcon. Oh gosh, lots of.
It wouldn't be a dark romance without it, though, would it?
Well,
really?
Exactly. Yeah. So torture scenes, Rexy scenes. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they're all in there. I'm just trying to think. What else? Oh, I always struggle with the tropes because I write it and then I'm kind of like, what does everybody consider to be a trope?
I do too. I find myself sometimes reading other people's things to actually see what all the tropes listed out. I'm like, oh, yeah, of course, that's a trope, isn't it?
I do that as well because I'm like, oh, well, that works for mine. So then that must be a trope that's in my book. But yeah, it's difficult and the tropes are always changing, so it's quite hard. But yeah, so yeah.
I mean, some are like main tropes and then they've got like small tropes where, I mean, some of them can be like a really big list of different ones. Yeah. And I love that sometimes, then other times I like to just have the main tropes where I can discover the little ones as a bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
Like if, I don't know, something, I can't think of the top of my head, but you want it to be a surprise always.
I know what you mean, because I tend to do like a smaller list of tropes. Rather than a big list of everything, and I just do the main ones that I feel that readers would be interested to know about. So yeah, dark romance, gritty action, suspense.
Are there any tropes that you see that you immediately want to read the book? Are there any that are like checklists of, right, I'm going to download that right now? Or is it pretty much everything? You quite like it?
Well, it would have to be Enemies to Lovers. That's my favourite. So that's always top of the list. I don't know about any others. I'm not big on age gap. Although I have read some age gap. I like a rock star romance. Mafia, obviously. I don't know. I'm not big on the virgin trope either. So that clues you in that none of my FMCs are virgins. And all of my characters are older. I don't do young adults, so they're a lot, usually mid to late 20s. And a few of them are a little bit older than that. Just because that's where I feel most comfortable writing. Might have something to do with the fact I have two teenage sons, or one who's nearly 21 and 18.
I bet it could be quite weird writing about people that age when you've got kids and you're just like, I don't want to think that my kids could be up to, anything that happens in books.
Exactly. I'd rather not think about it.
I mean, I've read some really good books that are like college romances. And when I say that, I mean the American college age, which is slightly older. But there are times where you can have that immature aspect where it's a little bit off-putting at times. I mean, one of my favourite books I've ever read is Say You Swear, and the only thing I'd say about that book is at the start of it, they were going from high school to college, and it just had a really, really immature aspect. The rest of the book was fantastic. I mean, it's one of my top reads, but that's the problem when you have these ages that are set, character ages that are set lower, and it can sometimes be off-putting. I mean, I myself am 21, but...
Yeah, but it's still the same idea, isn't it? You know, like, if you're a mature 21, then often you have someone who's the same age as you, you might find them irritating if they're less mature than you. So it's no different to when you're writing, you know, in a book, when you're reading.
Yeah.
My current whip is actually probably one of the younger ages I've done, but it's kind of like a prequel, but it will be part one of 2 books, so it'll be a duet, and this is the before, and then there'll be the now. So they are a little bit younger. They are 20, 21, which is like the youngest age I've actually written as main characters. So yeah, but I already know the character because the male character is from my Retribution Duet.
Is there an age jump then from the before and then the after?
Yes, so there'll be a period of time that will pass, and then it will be brought to the present day, and then a lot of what happened after the end of part 1 will be shown either talked or in flashbacks.
Well, that sounds really exciting. Can that be quite hard to juggle the flashbacks and try, you know, intertwine it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't use them very often because I know that not everybody likes flashbacks, and I probably won't do like massive chapters of flashbacks. It will be snippets of flashbacks, and it will lay the crumbs effectively for everything else. I use them in Risk actually, and I have had people say that they quite liked the fact that I used the flashback. So for me, that means I used them in the right way and didn't just info dump.
Yeah, because it gets a nice backstory without having this long, drawn-out, well, backstory.
Yeah.
You get the flashbacks, you get the insights without having to actually have a full-on book about it, which I bet is quite nice.
Yeah, so...
Definitely. Is this going to be your first time attending the Armouries? Have you been before?
No, this is my first time attending the Armouries. I'm really excited, so, yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, me too. I've never been before, so it's a whole new event for me, and it looks so good. It's quite a big event, isn't it? It's like 100 so authors, I'd say.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe more, but yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be really exciting to meet everyone and see everyone that I've interviewed as well.
Yes.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that's going to be the first time going.
No, it's quite. I think it's quite daunting, even for readers when they first go to their first signing event. I had luckily been to Rare Edinburgh before I ever did one of my own, just as a reader, and it was quite nice. And I still like to go. Like, I quite like to go even if I'm not signing to some events, because I get to meet authors that I wouldn't necessarily get to meet when I've been to my signing events, and also because I get to spend a bit of time with them, because we don't actually get a lot of time to spend together when we're at a signing event together. But yeah, it is quite daunting, but I think it's such a surreal experience, and everybody is really there for the same reason as you, so you know, it's wonderful. It's a great thing.
You went to the Edinburgh last year, did you? The Rare event, or was it a few years
I've been
ago?
to 2 in Edinburgh, both Rares in Edinburgh. I love those. I love Edinburgh. Edinburgh is amazing.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? I went to the Rare in Edinburgh last year and it was amazing. 2 days full of signings. Whoa.
My feet were killing me afterwards, I have to say.
Yes, I probably need like a few days just for my social battery to recharge. It was such a great event though. The atmosphere was amazing, and meeting all the authors was such a great time. Signing events are like a whole different breed. They're so fun. You get to meet people that, well, you get to put a face to the name, you get to put a face to the books and see these people that have probably made you cry, you laugh, you know, bring out all these emotions in you. Probably a bit of frustration book throwing as well, because we do love that.
Yes.
And you get to meet them. Yes, you get to meet them and you get to fangirl, and it's just so lovely. And everyone's in the same boat, all these readers, all these authors, probably nervous, but so excited to meet you and talk to you. Yeah, planning events are so fun. I hope to keep on going to them, but I'm hoping to volunteer. It's my first time volunteering at an event and doing interviews as well, so I'm excited. I'm hoping that I can keep on doing this going forward. I'd like to volunteer for a rare event as well in the future, maybe, but
Yeah,
I'm
good.
really happy that I get to do it for this event for the first time.
It's really good. It's really good, and you're doing great. So I think you
Thank you.
definitely have to keep it up.
Yeah, I hope to anyway. It's been such a great experience so far, meeting you all, well, virtually anyway,
Virtually.
chatting to you, and then hopefully I'll be meeting you in October. I'll be coming around all your tables and doing, I think, just very rapid fire interview questions, because obviously it's such a busy day. I don't ever want to pull you away from either the setup or meeting your readers.
No,
So
that's fine.
when I see a quiet time in queues, I'll be rushing over to say hello and
Yeah.
try not to spend too much money on books as well.
You'll need a new bookshelf, won't you, by the end of it?
I actually have no room. I
Me
asked, because I
neither.
still live at home, I asked my mum, you don't need that space in the spare bedroom, do you? Can I just put another bookshelf? But I've literally maxed out. I've got this bookshelf behind me, and then I've got one in a corner, and I have literally no more space to
Yeah.
put anything.
Yeah, mine's the same, to be fair. I mean, some of the books on my shelf currently are my books, which are just stock that I'll use. But yeah, it's maxed out, and I've actually got books sitting in front of books now on the shelf because I have no room.
I feel it's gonna have to be me. I mean, I just bought an extra 2 shelves from IKEA because I didn't realise you could actually fit on more shelves.
Oh,
Shocker.
well, there you go. There you go.
I rearranged it, but I've already maxed out on that space. So I don't know what I'm gonna do when I go. So I've got the Rare London in July, and then I've got the one in October for the Armories. So it's gonna be fun trying to see where I'm gonna put all those books. So I'm hoping I'm too busy to actually want to buy anything, but knowing me, that's not gonna be the case.
Well, I might see you at Rare London because I
Oh,
may
nice.
be assisting my friend Vaughan Cassidy for the day, so I might see you there.
Well, hopefully I get to meet you in person before the event in October.
Yeah.
But if you see me, I'll probably be running around very red-faced, like trying to juggle all my books. I think, you know, LJ Shen?
Who's? Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I have 20 books of hers, I think 21 books of hers that need signing, and she says she doesn't have a limit, but I think 21 is just a bit too many.
Yes, yes.
I don't know if I can do it in 2 trips or if I even want to take all those books. I might just do it in book plates, but I will be juggling all my books and trying to meet all these authors.
Yes.
So
I know that feeling. I've also been a reader in the queue behind somebody who had a suitcase of books for a particular author.
A suitcase.
Yeah, yeah. Backlist books that they wanted signed. Yeah, it
Oh, I
was
feel like I know which
insane.
author that's going to be. Is it the Twisted Sisters?
No.
No, because they always have they don't have a limit, and they always have they have a massive backlist, don't they?
Yeah, yeah. But
I
yeah,
mean,
no,
I won't be taking all of those because that is just ridiculous, and these poor authors' hands are going to be falling off by the end
falling
of
off.
it.
Yeah.
I always say when I see the last author of the day, I always say, "Good day, but tired day." She's like, "Yeah, I'm ready to drop now."
Yeah, yeah. Do you know what though? It's actually quite exhausting.
Mm.
And it's not like a physical exhaustion, it's a mental exhaustion because you
Yes.
have been active all day and you're chatting, and but yeah, it is really exhausting. And I never realised just how exhausting it was until I did my first signing, and I was just afterwards I was just like, gosh, like I'm literally dead on my feet, and I've not really done that much
Yeah.
strenuously, but it's just, and I think it's a lot of emotion and
Of
maybe
course.
anxiety, especially when I did my first one, and I still get anxious now, but yeah, it's really
It's like
exhausting.
whilst you're so excited to meet them and you're really happy to be there, you still have to put on a face to hide the anxiety, maybe to hide the tiredness. You still have to be this put on a face so you're bubbly, even though you are so excited to be there. It's
Yeah,
so tiring and
absolutely.
draining. So
Yeah.
yeah, I cannot imagine actually being an author to do that. I mean, my signatures are bad on a fine day where I have done no writing. I dread to think what it'd be like when it's like non-stop.
I bet I can. The biggest problem for me as a signing author is I'm left-handed. So I have to awkwardly hold the book open with my right hand and then sign with my left. And it is so awkward to try and get in there without breaking the spine of the book or damaging it.
I'll happily
It's,
assist you. I'll hold all the books open for you. I'll sit next to you.
you can come and give me a hand if you like. But yeah,
Literally.
that is the hardest part for me because I'm left-handed and it's just
Mm.
really difficult. I mean, I could turn them around the other way. You just have an upside down signature. I don't think anyone would be impressed with that.
I just don't know how people do these lovely signatures. Like, I have K, obviously, my name's Kate, so I have a K. I can just never see how they can look nice. Like, K.A. Knight, she has these gorgeous, like, swirling Ks, and I'm just like, how? Mine looks like chicken writing. Chicken scripts or whatever they call it.
Ivy Asher's the same. Her signature is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, and I just love it. But mine's just really simple. Like, it is literally just my first name. I don't know. It's kind of, and I do a little heart at the end, but with a cross, with the dash and a cross and then another. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just,
I don't think it
just did
needs
it.
to be this big thing. I think it's just having the book signed by the author and having that personal touch onto it is just so lovely. But yeah, I don't know how they do all these.
No.
I see the ones that just have a scribble. I'm like, you know what? That would be me. You wouldn't even be able to see K. I think if I ever did get into writing, I'd have to choose a pen name that has like SS or something, so it's so easy.
Just
I
an
don't care what it is.
exclamation mark.
Yes. People should take that into consideration when picking pen names. Can you sign it?
Yeah, exactly. But there's also that with the people who have pen names with their initials. So, like, I don't know, RS whatever, but that's extra work. It's like no, it's
It
just
doesn't
my
flow.
first name.
It's
No.
not a scribbly flow.
No.
Like my mum has like such a great signature because it just flows. It's loopy. She had to give me a K name.
Well, mine's even worse, Imogen. When I was younger, it wasn't even a name anyone had even heard of.
Yeah,
I
'cause you
hated it.
Can you touch the letters into like flow? I'm terrible at cursive and writing in general, so goodness knows.
Yeah, you can, but it's
Yeah.
just, I don't know. I mean,
I just do a scribble and call it a day, to be honest.
I don't blame you. Don't blame you.
Good thing I'm not an author.
I'm going to remind you of this conversation if you ever write a book now.
Well, hopefully one day. We never know. We never know. And it was so, so lovely talking to you today. I can't wait
And
to
you.
meet you in person. Thank you for lightening up my day. Having a great conversation. So yeah, I look forward to hopefully potentially meeting you in July. But
Yes.
if not, I'll see you in
In
October.
October. Yes, thank you very much.